Hey guys, Moldran here. You've probably seen my Alcesa run video. Now, the Alcesa run was pretty much the first really effective Paragon farming method. It was created by Alcesa, the player that reached, or was world first to reach 100 Paragon. He shared it on his live stream and I made a video about this route explaining it. Now, in the last few weeks, many people commented on my video, "Hey Moldran, how do you keep up your rough Berserker so good? You seem to be faster than me. For me, it always drops. What am I doing wrong? What are you doing?" And reality is, Sprint Tornadoes got nerfed, and that made it much harder to keep your rough Berserker up. Now, after Alcesa reached Paragon 100, Blizzard nerfed the proc coefficient from Sprint, Run Like the Wind, from 0.2 to 0.08. And yeah, it is much harder to keep up now. Now, what can you do to fix this? First thing you can do is you can simply play on a higher monster power. If you play on a higher monster power, the HP pool of the monster is so high, it's really easy to keep it up. As long as you can survive, for example, if you go from MP2 to MP7, you keep your survivability, keeping up rough Berserk won't be a problem. However, usually if you go up in monster power, this means you become a lot more ineffective and inefficient. So that's not really a good solution. So what you want to try is you want to maximize your rough Berserk uptime on the lower monster powers. Now, for example, if you're going for legendaries, you're playing with like 100k DPS, 150k DPS, then MP1 or MP2 would be really good monster powers for you to get legendaries, plus also a good amount of XP. Like even myself with 400k plus DPS, I don't go above monster power 7 or 8 to farm legendaries. But yeah, for example, if you go mostly for XP or you want the fastest XP possible, then even MP0 or 1 are good enough. Because MP2 then already requires really high DPS, and I don't know if everyone of you has this. So, okay, let me first go in game and show you some things that you need. Now, here I prepared this character. I basically removed most of my items and I was using some budget items, for example this dagger for 5k gold, but mainly what do you need to keep up higher rough Berserk? The most important stats are attacks per second and crit hit chance. So for example, I chose this dagger simply for the reason it has very high attack speed, which should show you like how important it is. Also lifesteal, but you can probably get a similar dagger. DPS is not that important, but you can get it with crit damage and crit chance for a price that's probably in your budget. It's also important to have crit chance and attack speed on rings, amulets. Also this helm is like a budget item that I bought to bring down my stats, because I want to make this video for the gear level that most of Barbarians have. And yeah, pretty much that's it. Lacunis are important for the run speed. You can also have attack speed, like attack speed is on them by default, but you can also have crit chance. And a gold wrap belt, which is not a trolling item, but it also has attack speed and it only cost me 80k gold. Now my stats are 400 all resist, 5k armor, 80k DPS, 40k HP, some lifesteal and life on hit. Pretty good, but as I said, it's really about those two stats when it comes down to maximizing your rough Berserk uptime. Okay, so now let me put on my headset and quickly show you this run in action. Okay, I'm gonna start with Tower of the Damned. Now in the Core of Ariad, sometimes you don't wanna use Wrath of Berserk, because the Core of Ariad is very RNG, like often you can't keep it up there. And yeah, basically the most important thing to keep it up is you wanna spend your Fury when you have too much. You also wanna use Spash Instigation effectively. I forgot to show you the spec, but I'm gonna do that after. And the packs where I can really refresh your buff, or for example get from 3/4 to full again, are elite packs. So make sure you use the elite packs effectively. And also important is you shouldn't use or shouldn't attack every single white mob. You should focus on groups mostly, and also on this pile of bones, they can also help. And here for example it's really good to like always press 3 or 2, which in my case are Battle Rage and Sprint, to spend your Fury. Because you only can keep the duration up if you spend Fury. And here for example I'm just whirling and also spending Fury while auto-attacking him with Bash. And you can see I went from very low to almost full again. Now what's important is switch or fast switches. So here it's gonna be down to half, but I'm pretty sure I can refresh this to full again if I just play correctly. Like here I'm auto-attacking, also using Warcry for additional, and those Scorpions are really good. But yeah, on MP1 they die pretty fast with my DPS, but still you can see it's full again. So yeah, overall it comes down to selecting the right gear, which is a mighty weapon, high attack speed, high crit chance, and then of course do the playstyle. Like it takes some practice, you need to know exactly when you should spend Fury, or which mob are worth killing, which mobs should you kill. For example, simple white mobs you really should skip, because they won't give you enough Fury to keep up Wrath of Berserk. And yeah, I'm gonna show you a bit more of this run, commentate a bit. You can see here everything's going smooth. I'm still on my very first Wrath of Berserk, and this is MP1, so this is probably, like I'm just estimating, okay, the elites take some time to kill because I'm here with a budget build, but this should still be around 80 to 90 million XP per hour. And yeah, alternatively you can also play as I played during my marathon without keeping Wrath of Berserk up, but killing everything instantly. But I think it's really more effective to play with Wrath of Berserk. Sure, it takes some practice to get used to it, and in some cases you also have to like lower your DPS if you want to really go for max DPS. It's impossible. Like if I would be here with 300, 400k DPS on MP1, even I wouldn't be able to keep up Wrath of Berserk, even if I play like perfectly. But yeah, you can see here, I've already been able to keep it up for 2 maps without too much trouble, and yeah, now it's probably gonna fall off, but I'm gonna try to keep it up even here. Like this is some variation of the Alcazar run. I'm also doing the Curse Tower now, because there's often a lead back here or a shrine, and you can see the lead back already. Should get me to full again. And I'm full again. And now I'm going straight for the heads, or for the Fields of Slaughter. And you can see the buff is still up. And here's already a lead pack. I'm just gonna get it full again. There are 2 elite packs. Pretty easy stuff. My stats buffed 130k with Battle Rage. Yeah, it's not much to it. Usually just to combine the top 3 most important things. First is attack speed and crit chance on gear. Then next is make efficient use of instigation, skip single white mobs, try to focus on groups, and refresh the stack with elite mobs. And the third is just spend your Fury. Spend your Fury when you need to, but don't overspend it, so you always have enough Fury left for Whirlwind and Sprint. Like you shouldn't completely spam it with no brain, but just make efficient use of it. Like, I don't know, take some kind of practice, but if you do enough runs, you will eventually get to a point where you can keep up your Wrath of Berserk, like I'm able to do it here. Just gonna finish this map and then end this video. Fleeting Shrine, of course, is always good. Yeah, maybe I should even try to keep it in the keep depths. And even that worked. Now if you have high aura resist, you could also consider to change Warcry to charge, which helps even more. But yeah, I think the basic principle should be clear now. Maybe this video helps you to keep your own Wrath of Berserk up, farm more effectively and efficiently. I didn't really practice for this, but I've been playing Barb so long. but I was able to learn it right away. And it's actually, like for me, like I actually enjoy this right now. It's much more entertaining to play with Wrath Berserker, and where you actually have to like think about what you're doing, how you're gonna spend your fury, how you're gonna press the buttons, than if you just play without Wrath Berserk. Like alternatively, what some people are doing is you could replace Wrath Berserk, for example, with Overpower Killing Spree for more DPS. But I think it's really more fun to play like this. Keep an eye on your buff, take some challenge, and yeah. Probably also buy a cheap budget build for this. Like as I saw, some items are completely grabbed and I just bought. It's not too expensive. And yeah, one important thing that I didn't mention yet is empowered shrines are currently bugged or whatever. It's much harder to keep up Wrath Berserk if you have an empowered shrine. So I don't recommend to use them with this build and spec. Personally, like I had more troubles to keep it up than if I'm not using it. So maybe you can share your own experience about the empowered shrine. So maybe it works for you, but for me it doesn't. Okay, now quickly about the build. Even though it didn't help me in this run, I think especially if your attack speed and crit chance is not that high, Boon of Pulcatos is really gonna help. But yeah, if like now, if your gears like me, like I wouldn't have needed because I had the same Wrath Berserk from the start to end. So I could use, for example, Animosity. Some people are also saying, why not Unforgiving? Unforgiving actually makes it harder to spend Fury because with Unforgiving you automatically spend some Fury. This means you can also gain more. And I don't think it's that important. Same with the Immortal King's piece. It's very expensive and it's not really needed, the 5-piece set bonus. As you saw, you can do just fine with normal gear, with a might weapon at high attack speed and crit chance. At least on the lower MPs. And yeah, spec-wise, I'm using Bash Instigation, which is useful. Especially to bridge points where, for example, it goes to half or even less than half. Then you can use Whirlwind on big mobs, but also additionally use Bash Instigation, which is even more Fury gain. And yeah, the rest is basic. Double Tornado build, Warcry, you could consider to change to either Warcry Charge or to Overpower Killing Spree, depending on your Aura Assist and Armor. Yeah. That was my video. As I said, I hope it's useful for you, you learned a few things. Unfortunately, it's only for the Barbarian out of you, but I guess most of my viewers are Barbarian anyways, and yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna make another video. I'm gonna do some interesting calculations right now, which I'm gonna share tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be back.